Did you know the oldest known architecture in Africa predates the Egyptian pyramids by thousands of years? Forget the single story, because African architecture is a tapestry woven from diverse climates, cultures, and innovations. This is a journey beyond the familiar sands of Egypt, into a world of rock-hewn churches, earthen mosques, and cities built without mortar that still stand tall today. Let's begin our exploration in the Sahara, a region often perceived as barren, but one that holds secrets of early human ingenuity. At the Takarkori rock shelter in Libya, archaeological evidence reveals stone-covered tumuli, funeral monuments constructed as far back as 5000 BCE. These simple structures, built by late pastoral peoples, represent some of humanity's earliest attempts to shape the landscape for ritual and remembrance. Further west, the Tassili Eniger shelters provide more clues, showing how early inhabitants adapted natural rock formations, utilizing perishable materials to create functional dwellings. Of course, no exploration of African architecture would be complete without acknowledging the monumental achievements of ancient Egypt. From the early dynastic period onwards, Egyptian builders mastered the art of working with limestone and sandstone, creating temples, pyramids, and other structures that continue to inspire awe. The step pyramid of Djoser at Saqqara, built around 2670 BCE by the architect Imhotep, marked a pivotal moment in architectural history, representing the first large-scale stone structure. And then there are the pyramids of Giza, including the Great Pyramid of Khufu, a testament to the organizational prowess and engineering skills of the Old Kingdom. For centuries, these structures have stood as symbols of power and permanence. Yet, the story of monumental architecture in Africa extends far beyond the borders of Egypt. To the south, in the lands of ancient Nubia, the kingdom of Kerma and later Napata and Meroe rivaled their northern neighbor in their architectural ambition. Mud-brick temples and royal cemeteries dotted the landscape, culminating in the distinctive Meroitic pyramids, smaller and steeper than their Egyptian counterparts, built from around 300 BCE onward. Moving eastward, we encounter the Aksumite kingdom, a powerful civilization that flourished in present-day Ethiopia and Eritrea from the 1st to the 7th centuries CE. The Aksumites were renowned for their towering stele, monolithic stone obelisks that served as monuments to their rulers and gods. The obelisk of Aksum, originally erected in the 4th century CE, stands as a testament to their mastery of stone carving and engineering. But perhaps the most extraordinary example of Ethiopian architecture is found in the rock-hewn churches of Lalibela. These churches, traditionally attributed to King Lalibela in the late 12th to early 13th century CE, are not built in the conventional sense. Instead, they were carved directly from the living rock, creating a network of subterranean sanctuaries that continue to inspire pilgrims and visitors alike. Journeying south, we arrive at Great Zimbabwe, a majestic city built from stone without mortar, flourishing between the 11th and 15th centuries CE. For years, colonial writers attributed its construction to outsiders, refusing to believe that local Shona-speaking ancestors could have created such a sophisticated urban center. But archaeological evidence has since confirmed that Great Zimbabwe was indeed the work of indigenous Africans. The walls of Great Zimbabwe are a marvel of engineering, constructed from carefully selected stones and adorned with decorative patterns. The great enclosure, with walls reaching up to 11 meters high, stands as a testament to the skill and artistry of its builders. Moving westward, across the vast expanse of the Sahel, we encounter the unique Sudano-Sahelian architectural tradition. This style, characterized by its use of mud brick and earthen construction, is perfectly adapted to the region's climate. The Great Mosque of Djenné in Mali, though reconstructed in 1907, represents a tradition that stretches back centuries. These mud brick structures are not only aesthetically pleasing but also incredibly functional, reinforced with timber beams that help stabilize the walls and manage thermal stress. Further along the Niger River lies Timbuktu, another important center of Islamic learning and mud brick architecture. From the 13th to the 17th centuries, Timbuktu flourished as a hub of trade and scholarship, its mosques and libraries attracting scholars from across the Muslim world. To the east, in present-day northern Nigeria, the Hausa cities of Kano, Katsina, and Zaria developed their own distinctive style of adobe and earthen urban architecture. Influenced by Islamic traditions, these cities featured imposing palaces, mosques, and fortified walls. Venturing south towards the coast, we arrive at the Swahili coast, a region that thrived on trade between the 10th and 16th centuries. Cities like Kilwa, Mombasa, and Zanzibar developed a unique architectural style, blending local materials like coral rag and mangrove timber with influences from Arabia, Persia, India, and China. The coral stone walls, carved wooden doors, and interior courtyards of Swahili houses reflect the cosmopolitan nature of this Indian Ocean world. Further inland, in present-day Nigeria, the Benin Kingdom developed a sophisticated urban plan centered around the Palace of the Oba of Benin. This complex, repeatedly expanded from at least the 13th century, consisted of courtyards, halls, shrines, and administrative spaces. Early European visitors were impressed by the wide streets and orderly layout of Benin City. In southern Africa, vernacular architecture traditionally utilized mud, thatch, timber, and reeds, creating circular house plans common in many regions. While these structures may seem simple, they were perfectly adapted to the local climate and available resources. The arrival of Europeans on the African coast in the 15th century brought new architectural styles and building techniques. Portuguese forts and castles, such as Elmina Castle in present-day Ghana, became symbols of colonial power and the transatlantic slave trade. Later, French and British colonial rule introduced administrative compounds, rail and port infrastructure, and segregated city planning, often incorporating neoclassical, Victorian, and Art Deco styles. After the independence movements of the mid-20th century, many African states used architecture to express their national identity. National Assembly buildings, cultural centers, and state museums were constructed in capitals like Accra, Abuja, Nairobi, and Dakar, often blending local materials and climate-responsive design with international modernist forms. Today, contemporary African architecture continues to evolve, drawing on a rich heritage while embracing new technologies and ideas. From the ancient tumuli of the Sahara to the modern skyscrapers of its bustling cities, African architecture tells a story of ingenuity, adaptation, and cultural resilience. It's a story that deserves to be heard, a story that challenges our preconceived notions and expands our understanding of human creativity and innovation. So, the next time you think of African architecture, remember that it's so much more than just pyramids or mud huts. It's a diverse and dynamic expression of human culture, shaped by centuries of history and innovation. What other ancient civilizations are ripe for architectural rediscovery?